In the earliest days of civilization, when the world was young and the gods still walked among men, there flourished the magnificent city of Shuruppak. Nestled along the life-giving banks of the Euphrates River, it was a place of prosperity, wisdom, and harmony. At the heart of this great city reigned King Shuruppak, a ruler revered not only for his fairness and strength, but also for his profound understanding of life's mysteries. As the sun began to cast longer shadows and silver streaked his dark hair, Shuruppak felt the weight of time pressing upon him. His only son, Ziusudra, stood on the threshold of manhood, soon to inherit the responsibilities of leadership. Determined to prepare him fully, the king decided to impart all the wisdom he had gathered over a lifetime. One morning, as the first light painted the sky with hues of rose and gold, Shuruppak invited Ziusudra to walk with him through the palace gardens. The air was fragrant with the scent of blooming lilies, and the gentle murmur of the river provided a soothing backdrop. "My son," Shuruppak began, his voice resonant with both authority and affection, "the time has come for me to share with you the knowledge that sustains kingdoms and preserves the soul. Listen carefully, for these teachings will guide you through every trial life may present." They strolled along a path lined with statues of the gods, reminders of the divine forces that govern their world. Shuruppak turned to Ziusudra, his gaze deep and penetrating. "Honor your father and mother," he said. "They are the roots from which your life springs, the foundation upon which you build your future. Show them respect in word and deed, for in honoring them, you uphold the order of heaven and earth." Ziusudra nodded, absorbing his father's words. Shuruppak continued, "Extend this respect to all elders. Their years have granted them experiences from which you can learn much." As they passed a group of workers tending the garden, Shuruppak gestured toward them. "Treat those who serve you with kindness and fairness. A just leader recognizes that every person, no matter their station, contributes to the well-being of the whole. Exploitation breeds resentment, but fairness fosters loyalty." They reached a bench overlooking the river, and both sat down. The water flowed steadily, a symbol of life's constant movement. Shuruppak picked up a small stone and tossed it into the river, watching the ripples spread. "Your actions are like this stone," he mused. "Every choice you make sends ripples through the lives of others. Speak truthfully always. Words have power. They can heal or harm. Once spoken, they cannot be reclaimed. Avoid gossip and slander, for they sow discord and erode trust." He leaned closer. "Be cautious in your speech. There is wisdom in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Silence can prevent misunderstandings and keep you from entangling yourself in unnecessary conflicts." A flock of birds flew overhead, their formation precise and harmonious. "Surround yourself with people of integrity," Shuruppak advised. "Just as birds of a feather flock together, you will be judged by the company you keep. Avoid those who are deceitful or prone to anger. Their ways lead to ruin." He paused, allowing the sounds of nature to fill the silence before continuing. "Practice moderation in all things. Do not overindulge in food or drink, for excess dulls the mind and weakens the body. Control your desires. Do not covet what belongs to others. Contentment is found not in the abundance of possessions, but in the richness of the spirit." Ziusudra considered this. "Father, how does one find contentment amid so many temptations?" "By cultivating self-discipline," Shuruppak replied. "Temptations will always beckon, but a wise man knows that fleeting pleasures cannot fill the deeper longings of the heart. Invest your time in pursuits that nourish the soul. Learning, companionship, the betterment of your people." They rose and continued their walk, approaching the bustling marketplace at the edge of the gardens. Merchants called out to passers-by, and the air was thick with the aromas of spices and freshly baked bread. "Observe the market," Shuruppak said. "It is a place of exchange, not just of goods, but of ideas and cultures. Engage with others honestly. In your dealings, be fair and just. Do not cheat or deceive to gain advantage. Ill-gotten gains carry a curse, while honest earnings bring peace of mind." A commotion caught their attention, a dispute between two merchants over a transaction gone awry. Shuruppak watched for a moment before turning to his son. "Conflict is inevitable, but how you handle it defines your character. Seek resolution through understanding and dialogue. Avoid anger, for it clouds judgment. A calm mind can find solutions where a troubled one sees only obstacles." They moved away from the crowd, heading toward the city gates. The massive structures stood as a testament to the city's strength, but also to its openness. "Do not isolate yourself," Shuruppak counseled. "A leader must be accessible to his people. Listen to their concerns, value their contributions, and they will support you in return. Yet, be discerning. Not all who approach you have noble intentions. Guard your heart and mind against deceit." As they walked along the city walls, Shuruppak pointed to the horizon where the land met the sky. "Maintain a vision for the future," he said. "Plan for the days ahead, not just for yourself, but for generations to come. Store resources in times of plenty to prepare for times of scarcity. Anticipate challenges so you are not caught unprepared." They descended from the walls and made their way back toward the palace. Along the path, they encountered a man known for his sharp tongue and quick temper. The man glared, but said nothing as they passed. "Beware of those who cannot control their anger," Shuruppak remarked. "Such people are like a city without walls, defenseless and prone to destruction. Cultivate patience. It is a shield against the provocations that life may hurl at you." They entered the cool shade of the palace halls, the walls adorned with intricate carvings depicting the tales of heroes and the decrees of kings past. "Value learning and wisdom," Shuruppak urged. "Seek knowledge wherever it may be found, in books, in nature, in the experiences of others. A wise leader is always a student, ever willing to learn and grow." He led Ziusudra into the grand library, where scrolls and tablets lined the shelves. "But remember," he added, "knowledge without application is like a tree that bears no fruit. Use what you learn to better yourself and your kingdom." As evening approached, father and son shared a meal prepared from the bounty of their land. The conversation turned to matters of faith. "Do not neglect the divine," Shuruppak said solemnly. "Offer gratitude to the gods who watch over us. Participate in the rituals and honor the traditions that bind us to the sacred. Acknowledge that there are forces greater than ourselves at work in the world." Ziusudra gazed at the flickering flames of the oil lamps. "How do we balance reliance on the gods with our own responsibilities?" "By understanding that the gods favor those who act with virtue," his father replied. "Perform your duties diligently, uphold justice, and care for your people. In doing so, you honor the gods and fulfill your role in the order of things." The next day, Shuruppak invited Ziusudra to sit with him in the council chamber where matters of state were discussed. Observing his father mediate disputes and make decisions, Ziusudra noted the calm deliberation with which he approached each issue. "Leadership demands wisdom, but also fairness," Shuruppak explained afterward. Do not let personal biases cloud your judgment. Justice must be blind to wealth, status, and personal feelings. When the people see that you govern impartially, they will trust and respect you. He placed a hand on Ziusudra's shoulder. Yet, do not be inflexible. Show mercy when appropriate, for compassion is a strength, not a weakness. Balance the scales of justice with the heart of kindness. They spent the following days visiting various parts of the kingdom. The farms where crops swayed in the breeze, the workshops where artisans crafted goods, the schools where children learned to read the ancient scripts. Promote the welfare of all, Shuruppak advised. A prosperous kingdom is one where every person has the opportunity to thrive. Support education, encourage the arts, and invest in the health of your people. Their well-being is the true measure of your success as a ruler. One afternoon, as they rested under the shade of a great oak, Ziusudra asked, "Father, what of those who may oppose me or seek to harm our kingdom?" "Be vigilant," Shuruppak replied. "Protect your realm with strength and wisdom. Seek peace, but be prepared for conflict if it cannot be avoided. Form alliances, but do not compromise your principles for temporary gains. A strong defense is built not just on might, but on unity among your people." He looked intently at his son. "But remember, true victory lies not in the defeat of enemies, but in the flourishing of your own land." As their time together drew to a close, Shuruppak sensed that Ziusudra was ready to embrace his destiny. Yet, there was one final lesson to impart. "Life is transient," he said quietly. "Power and wealth are fleeting shadows. What endures is the legacy you leave behind, the impact of your actions on the lives of others. Strive to be remembered not for your titles or achievements, but for your character and the goodness you brought into the world." He presented Ziusudra with a finely crafted tablet, inscribed with the maxims he had shared. Moved by his father's profound guidance, Ziusudra embraced him. "I will carry your teachings with me always," he vowed. "I will endeavor to be a ruler and a man worthy of your legacy." Not long after, ominous signs began to appear in the natural world. Rivers rising beyond their banks, animals behaving strangely, the very air heavy with foreboding. Recalling his father's emphasis on preparedness and attentiveness to the divine, Ziusudra sought counsel from the priests and sages. "The gods are displeased," they warned. "A great flood is coming to cleanse the earth." Heeding their warnings and his father's teachings, Ziusudra acted swiftly. He mobilized the people to build a massive vessel, gathering his family and representatives of all living creatures. Many questioned and doubted, but his conviction and the respect he commanded compelled them to assist. When the deluge came, it was as devastating as foretold. Waters swallowed the land, erasing the familiar world. But thanks to Ziusudra's wisdom, courage, and adherence to his father's counsel, humanity and life itself were preserved. After the waters receded, Ziusudra emerged onto a transformed landscape. He offered thanks to the gods and a promise to rebuild a society founded on the principles his father had instilled in him. Surrounded by the survivors, he declared, "We have been given a second chance, a chance to create a world guided by wisdom, justice, and compassion. Let us honor the past by building a future where these values flourish." The people looked to him with hope and trust, ready to follow a leader who embodied the very best of what humanity could be.